Hello and welcome back to the Entrepreneur's Anchor. I'm your host, Naveen Kumar Selvaraj. Last week, we talked about the hard internal work of becoming an unshakable leader, of taking the wise pause and restraining ourselves from anger and pride. Now, that is a training practice in, to be very honest. It takes real energy to be that conscious, that present all the time. So today we need to talk about the fuel. What keeps us going? What gives us the energy to persist day after day in this difficult journey? The answer is in finding dignity and perhaps even joy in the smallest of wins. There's this movie called Door to Door, based on the true story of a man named Bill Porter. Now, Bill had cerebral palsy, which made walking and speaking difficult. He was determined to be a salesman, just like his father. He goes to the Watkins Company and asks for a job. Now, the boss is hesitant, but Bill is persistent. He says, "Give me a worst route. Give me the area nobody wants." The film shows him walking his route. It's painful, he's slow, he gets door after door slammed in his face, and people are rude to him. Sounds very familiar, right? Hear me out. This is very interesting. Now, in fact, in one scene, a woman, seeing his struggle, tries to give him money out of pity. She says, "Oh, I really don't need anything, but I respect what you're doing. Here, I'd like to help you," and gives him some money. And Bill Porter looks her and says, "I don't need charity, but you need spot remover. Look at your couch. It's appalling." He refuses the handout. He's not there for pity. He's there to provide value. He has dignity in his process and he believes in it. And a few scenes later, he makes his first real sale. A woman orders 2 boxes of detergent and a large bleach. It's a tiny, tiny order. But he gets back in his mother's car and he's beaming. He says, "I made a sale. I can do this." That small $3.95 win was everything to him. It was the proof. Years later, at an awards ceremony, they announce him as the Salesman of the Year. Yes, it was Bill Porter. He didn't become Salesman of the Year by hitting one grand slam. He became it by respecting the dignity of that $3.95 sale day after day for decades. He had patience and persistence. He believed in the process. This story hits me hard because I exactly feel the same way. Now, the other day, I closed a small sale. I think the total profit from it would be just about $200, right? In the grand scheme of a multi-million-dollar goal, 200 is almost a rounding error to say, you know. It's very tempting to just dismiss it. But I didn't. I actually wrote a gratitude entry for it. I was happy. Why? Because a $200 sale wasn't just $200. Just like Bill Porter, it was the proof. It was the universe validating the process. My process. It was a sign that the engine is working. It was a small win, but it was precious. And why? It was my first win in a new field that I was developing. Yes, this is a crucial spiritual lesson for every entrepreneur. Celebrating small wins doesn't mean you're complacent or content. You see, that little $200 win, which I wrote a gratitude entry for and was celebrating, led to a solid long-term framework agreement with the client. I deliver globally to them now. Yes, it simply means you believe in the process and the journey. The unshakable leader we talked about last week, this is their fuel. They are free from the need for praise, but they are not blind to the gift of a small success. They find dignity in the process. And when you find dignity in the process, you become unstoppable. You're not just fueled by the fantasy of $1 million exit. You're fueled by the real, tangible, daily drip of gratitude for the small wins. And this is despite all the challenges you're facing. And frankly speaking, yes, while there was a $200 win, I was having other issues as well. But that win was the necessary rope that I need to hold on to and climb. And I am climbing, and I'm sure you relate to this too. That is how we've built a far more sustainable engine. Yes. So your challenge this week is simple, but I assure you, if you follow through, it will change your perspective. I want you to start a small win log. It can be a notebook, a note on your phone, anywhere. Every day at the end of your workday, I want you to write down one small win. It could be, I sent that email I was procrastinating on, or I got one new subscriber, or I made a $50 sale. Or it could also be, I took the wise pause and didn't send an angry reply, just like I listened to on the Entrepreneur's Anchor. Yeah, that's it. Just one. At the end of the week, I want you to read that list of 7 small wins. You will see what you're really building. You're building momentum. You're building persistence. You're making winning a habit, one small win at a time. You're proving to yourself day by day that just like Bill Porter, you can do this. Yes, your big goals are achieved not in giant leaps. That's the reminder. Not in giant leaps, but in 1,000 tiny dignified steps. Learn to find the joy in each one. I have spent the last few years on my own journey of unlearning, stripping away the noise to focus on the tools and the small wins that actually build stability in a storm. Now, I have consolidated all of these lessons, and I'm very pleased to say this is not a portfolio of wins, but rather a repository of lessons and tools, all of it on my new website, naveenkumars.com. Yes, I've left the link in the description for you to visit. There you can find my new Wisdom AI tool, the Entrepreneur's Anchor Wisdom AI tool, which combines business strategy with guidance from the Gita, the Tirukkural, the Bible, and the Quran. It's free to use, and I built it to help you find your own small wins. Check it out at the website www.naveenkumars.com. And if you believe in this process, as always, please hit that follow or subscribe button. And until then, you stay grounded and celebrate you and your process. See you next time.